Hello, welcome to Math 1314 College Algebra. So if you're in this class, you are in a late start class for the fall of 2024. And I am Professor Algio, and I'm just going to kind of go over some things so you'll kind of know how the class is going to run. And so where I'm at right here is I'm at this D2L, and so hopefully that's something you're familiar with. And the way you want to get there in case you haven't used it before, you want to go to Lone Star uh, .edu and go over to class login, and then that'll take you to a login place where you'll use your email and password to get in here. And so all these different tiles here are for all my different classes, and then you all's tile is right here. And so you might not be able to log in and see this until Monday on the 9th. And so sometimes they don't allow students access until the night before the class starts. Okay, so what will you find here? So when you click on content, yours will look a little different than mine. Actually, let me see if I can go into, I thought, let's see, here we go, view as a student. So this is what it will look like on your side right here. So we'll click on content. And so you want to start up here at the syllabus and calendar right here, this tab. And so we'll go over those in just a moment. Then I have a little tab right here for homework, and this has the link and the course ID and enrollment key so you can sign up for the homework platform. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. And then we do have an orientation quiz, which is very important. It's going to go over the expectations of the course, what's in the syllabus, what's on the calendar, but most importantly, what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to practice the protocol for testing, because testing will require the lockdown browser and webcam. And so if you don't have a webcam, that's something you'll have to work out before the first exam. And so that's why this quiz is so important, so you can see what the protocol is like, so you'll know what the expectations are for exams. Then here's the exam tab, and so the first one won't become available until September 25th. That due date's wrong. That due date should be the 30th. I'll have to fix that. So most of the testing windows, you get about a 5-day period to take them. So if you look at exam 2, it's from October 22nd to the 27th. Exam 3, November 13th to the 18th, and then we have our final exam down here. And then the last tab right here is work submissions, and I'll talk more about that when we start looking at the syllabus, but this is where you can post your work for your exams. So let's go ahead and go to the syllabus now. So let me pull that up. Oops, a little too large. There we go. Okay, so here is my information. So I'm in the Winship building at North Harris. Here's my phone number if you want to give me a call. Email is going to be the best and easiest way to contact me right here. I do have a WebEx account if y'all want to meet up online for tutoring or anything. I have my official office hours are from 9:30 to 11:50 Monday through Thursday, but I'm also available by request. Okay, so here we are. So for our textbook, you do not need to purchase anything. If you have, you need to return it. I use a free OpenStax textbook, and then I also use a free homework platform. Okay, so you do not have to pay for any materials for this course. And so this information is already in D2L, but here's the link to my Open Math, and this would be the course ID and enrollment key. And I will show you how to do all that in a little bit. So calculators. A scientific calculator is ideal for this course. If you have a graphing calculator, that's okay, but it's not necessary. Um, but they are going to be allowed if you do have one. Okay, the purpose of this course, most people are trying to get a 4-year degree, and this is required. So you might want to double check and make sure this one's required, because we have other math courses for other degree plans that might fit you better. So just make sure this is on your degree plan. Major course outcomes, I am not going to read through all that, but you can look through it, and if you have any specific questions about any of these, feel free to reach out. General course outlines, I have a calendar, and that's posted in D2L also. So let's go back to syllabus and calendar. There we go. Here is the calendar, and I already have it open over here, so I'm going to go to that page. So here is our calendar. And so this will give you an idea of when we have our due dates and stuff like that. So right here, September 9th is our first day of class, and so read the syllabus, watch this video. The orientation quiz, very important, want to take care of that, and then 1.1 factoring review. And so the way I kind of set this calendar up is I kind of space this out that you do not have to do these assignments on these particular days, but in red it will tell you when the deadlines are. So the homework for the week is due Sunday at 9:59 p.m. So you need to get the 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 done by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Now the orientation quiz, I put the deadline for Monday, September 16th. I give you an extra day on that one because it's very important. You have to complete the orientation quiz or you will be dropped from the course, okay? So you want to make sure you complete that. And that's located in D2L, and we'll look at that in a moment. So you can see for most weeks, the homework will be due on Sundays. Most, not all. If you look at week 3, I actually give you till Monday because that's when this exam is due. The first exam is going to be due by September 30th. Take it early if you can. You know, things happen, emergencies happen, so the earlier you take it, the better, so we don't run into any problems. But the deadline would be Monday for your exam and then also for the homework here. But like I said, most of them are going to be Sundays. I think I have one other that's a Monday down here, right here. So this week right here, I delay the homework due until Monday once again because that's when the exam is going to be due. And so we're going to have 3 exams and a final exam, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment when we go back to the syllabus. So if you have any questions about the calendar, feel free to reach out. Like I said, what I write for the week, you don't have to complete it. You know, you don't have to do 1.7 on that Monday and 1.8 on that Tuesday. If you have a job and it's better for you to do your homework on Friday, Saturdays, that's fine. So just all that work has to be done by whatever's listed here in this column here. So most of them are going to be Sunday. I think there's only 2 weeks where it's Monday. Okay, so back to our syllabus. Okay, so real quick, if you're going to email me, that's going to be the best way to communicate with me, especially if you need help, is send me a screenshot or be very specific on what homework assignment and what question you're struggling with, and I'll be more than happy to send you a tutorial video back to help you. Just be sure when you email me to tell me your full name so I know who you are and what class you're in. I teach 3 of these, and so I want to make sure I'm looking in the right class when I'm trying to figure out who needs help. Okay, evaluation. So I think we're pretty familiar with the grading, how this works for an A, B, C, and D. The thing about a D, though, you have to be careful. Most universities will not accept that D. They'll make you retake the course. So really, you need to shoot for a C or better if you're going to be transferring. Okay, so here's how you are going to be assessed. So the homework's going to count for 20%. So each section covered in class will have a homework set in My Open Math, which we're going to look at in a moment. The due dates are posted in My Open Math, plus we also have the due dates here in the calendar, okay? And you'll have 4 late passes to complete any overdue homework assignments. So if you happen to get a little behind one week and you miss the deadline, well, you get 4 of these passes to where you can go back in and complete them past the due date. The unit review and final exam review also count as homework, so that will be part of your homework grade too. So by the way, these reviews, the exam reviews and the final exam review, the exams are created from those. I make the reviews first, then I pick about, 70% of the review and create the exam. Okay, so everything that's on the exam was on the review. So if you study the reviews, you'll be well prepared for the exams. So we'll have 3 regular exams given throughout the semester. Each exam is made up of questions from its respective review, what I was just saying. Exams can be found in D2L by clicking. Okay, so this part's going to be super important because exams are taken in My Open Math, but we are going to take them through D2L. We're going to access them through D2L so that we can enable the Respondus lockdown browser and Respondus monitor. And so here are the directions for this. So you'll want to go to your course activities and then quizzes, which actually I think I even have them posted now. I think I made it even easier for y'all now. There's an exams tab, so you don't even have to go through all that. You can just go straight here to the exams tab. Um, so that's something new I did recently. So you'll go to the quizzes. Exams can only be taken once, okay? And you'll have 2.5 hours, which is plenty of time. Most of y'all will take about an hour and a half or less, but I do give that extra time just to be safe. Students are required to use the Respondus lockdown browser and Respondus monitor. So the lockdown browser makes it to where you can't go to any other websites, and the Respondus monitor is going to be the camera, the webcam that you have to set up, and we'll talk about that in depth in a moment. No exceptions on these rules. Students may use a scientific or graphing calculator on the exam. I will also supply a digital calculator. There will be a calculator in the exam that you can use, that you can pull up on the screen and use a calculator. But if you want a physical one, that's fine. Scientific or graphing is fine. Students are permitted to use one standard sheet of paper with notes or examples on each exam, but must refrain from using any other resources. So basically, I'm allowing you like a cheat sheet, okay? It has to be your handwritten notes that you want to use on the exam. You could basically, as you're working out the quiz review, you could try to work it out on a single sheet of paper. As long as it's your writing, that's fine. You could use that as your cheat sheet. Okay, but anything else is off limits. No electronics, no phones, uh, can't have a friend help you, none of that. If you're caught cheating, you will automatically receive a 0 for the assessment and may be dropped from the course or given an F. Okay, makeups will not be allowed. So that's where I was telling you earlier when we were looking at the calendar. You're given a 5-day window to take an exam. Don't wait till the 5th day. Things happen, emergencies happen, and I don't really want to deal with figuring out what's a real emergency and what's not. So what I do is I will not allow a makeup, but I will replace your lowest regular exam grade with your final exam score if it's higher. So, for example, let's just say on one of the exams you do poorly, and let's just say you make a 50, but on the final exam you make an 85. Well, that 50 will get replaced by that 85, but only one will get replaced, okay? So if you miss an exam, that will be the one that gets replaced. That 0 would get replaced, but let's try not to miss one though. Okay, grading and earning partial credit on exams. So to earn partial credit, a student must submit their handwritten work within 1 hour of completing the exam. Partial credit means getting points back on problems you missed on an exam. If an exam marks your question wrong, then I will go back and look at your work and give partial credit if possible. Getting points back is not guaranteed. To submit your work, you're going to go to content and then you're going to look for work submissions and then be sure to follow those guidelines. So let me pull that up so you can see that. So work submissions right here. So you'll go in here. It's not available yet, but when it becomes available, you'll want to come in here and there's a way to drop your assignment in, or I'm sorry, drop your work from your exam in here. For the most part on partial credit, I'd say students typically can get anywhere from 5 to 10 points back on an exam. That's where it averages. Sometimes students only get a point or two. Sometimes they get 15 points back. It just kind of depends on the situation. Okay. So, and it's optional, but if you don't do it, then there's no chance for any partial credit. So if you want to have the chance of earning partial credit, you have to submit your work. Final exam, that's going to count for 20%, and it will be a cumulative final. And so let me go back to my calendar. So the final exam will be Half of it will be this new stuff that comes after Unit 3. That's 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, and 6.1. So that will make up half of the final exam. The other half will be stuff from the previous 3 units. Now, once again, I'll supply a review, and once again, the final exam was created. It's a subset of that review. So as long as you prepare, study the review, you should be in pretty good shape. Okay, so the cumulative final, this time I'll give you 3 hours. Once again, you probably don't need the whole 3 hours, but just to be safe, I give students 3 hours. Most students take about 2 hours or less. The same rules are going to apply. You can use a cheat sheet on this. Once again, it's just a single sheet though. Okay, this next part's really important. This is going to be the exam expectations. And so, as I was saying at the beginning of the video, we have the orientation quiz, and this will give you an opportunity to kind of get everything set up so you'll know what's expected for when you take the exam, okay? So in order to take the orientation quiz, which is located in D2L, you'll come here, and when you click on it, it's going to walk you through a process, and you're going to have to probably download some software if you haven't downloaded this before, and it's unique to D2L. So if you have this software from a different class or something like that, it may or may not work, so you might have to download the new stuff. And so once again, that's why I have this orientation quiz, so we can get this figured out before the first exam rolls around. Okay, so let's go back to the syllabus, and so we can see some examples. So camera placement during the exam. These are some acceptable placements. So the main thing is what we want to see is your workspace and you, okay? And so there's actually an instructor right here, the one that's not blurred out. The other blurred out ones are students. But you can see right here, she has her workspace. I can see how she's writing. I see her calculator, and I can see her. Same thing with these other folks. Everything looks good here. I can see where they're working, their calculator. That's good. Okay. And then here are some examples if you have a laptop computer. It's a little bit more challenging, but the best way to do that is just kind of put it off to the side on a table, like be at a larger table, and set it to your left or to your right a couple feet. And you'll just kind of have to reach over to type in your answers or whatever, but then that will allow me to see your workspace and see you. Um, really the best thing to do is probably get a webcam. You can get them for $10 at Walmart. But if you decide, you just want to use your laptop internal camera, that's fine. Just make sure you're following the rules. Here is an example. I'll get this sometimes. A student will take an exam like this. I can't see the workspace. I understand sometimes we put our hands to our face and stuff like that. I'm not going to be super picky like that. I understand. I don't want you to be nervous. I just want you to be natural. But the main thing is if you have it like this, I'm not going to be too worried. Okay, if you have it set up here, that looks good. This is a big problem here. Okay, and so if you do this, that will be your 0, and so you don't want that to happen. All right, so computer and internet. So first and foremost, make sure you have a reliable internet resource when you're doing this. I do have students sometimes go take this at Starbucks or at the library or something like that. That's fine. Just try to find a quiet place to where you're not going to be bothered. So if you do need to go to a public place, I'm okay with that. But once again, just follow the protocols. Okay. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, so make sure your computer is charged or plugged in. The exam must be taken on a PC or Mac, not an iPad. Now you can recently, this is something that recently happened, you can use a Chromebook. So if you have a Chromebook, that should work. Okay, this is just talking about the Respondus Lockdown browser. The one we're using is unique to D2L. So even if you download the software for one of these other programs, it's going to be different for D2L. So you'll probably have to download it again. Allowable items in your workspace, a calculator, a writing utensil, blank paper, no spiral or folders. Okay, so make sure you just have 3 or 4 pieces of loose leaf paper. And then you can also have your 1-page cheat sheet. Okay, so academic integrity, I've already kind of addressed this, but basically make sure you're doing your own work. You're not using your phone. You're not using any websites. You shouldn't be on anything except for the exam when you're on the computer. Just things to remember, I kind of already addressed this. Find a location with a flat surface. Do not take it while laying in bed. Find a quiet place to take the item. No other people should be in the room. And like I said, I understand I've had some people take it at Starbucks or, the library or whatever. Just do the best you can to kind of find a quiet place. Um, do not wear hat or hoodie or sunglasses or headphones, AirPods, any of that. If you happen to need a computer, you can actually go to this link here and fill out the information and request one. As long as you're taking 6 credit hours or more, Lone Star will check you out a computer. Okay, students may be dropped from the course for the following reasons. If you don't do the quiz, okay, you need to complete the orientation quiz, and that's going to be by September 16th. Exams, if you score 0 on 2 or more, at that point, you're probably not going to pass the course, so you may be dropped. Not following exam protocol, that's a big one. Make sure you're following the protocol. Participation, you must complete at least one homework assignment each week. Hopefully you're doing more than that because you have more than one assigned every week. But the thing is, if you just drop off and I don't see any action for a week or two, I'm assuming you're no longer wanting to be part of the course, okay? So keep that in mind. You got to continually participate every week. And then also MyOpenMath, you need to get full access to that within the first week, okay? And it's free. You don't have to pay a dime, so there's really no excuse for you to not have access to MyOpenMath. And I'm going to show you that program in just a minute. See, so ODR, this is where you'll get dropped if you don't take the orientation quiz, because in the first week and a half of class, I have to fill out a roll sheet whether a student is present or not. And so if I don't see any action on your side, I have to drop you as a no-show. And then our last day to withdraw from the course to receive a W would be the 12th, November 12th. And then just be aware of the 6 drop rule. Once you drop 6 classes, you could potentially be on probation for that. Okay, these policies right here, you're going to see this on every Lone Star syllabus, so I'm not going to go too much in depth on this. The one I'll point out is the ADA, Americans with Disability Act. If you have any accommodations, please make me aware of that so I can be sure to honor those. So we do have a tutoring center at North Harris. It's located in the Winship Building, room 110. Okay, it's a great place to go and get some help. They have tutors in there Monday through Thursday from 9 to 6. On Fridays, they even have online tutoring from 1 to 4, and on Saturdays from 11 to 2. Sometimes they change those hours, so I would go to this link right here and double check it before you head up there. But I know the Monday through Thursday is that's pretty standard right there, 9 to 6. So they have tutors in there, they have computers, they've got people in there to help you, and I'm around there too. If you want to come find me, I'm more than happy to help. Okay, I think that covers the syllabus. What we're going to do now, let's go to MyOpenMath so you can see that. It's real easy to get set up. So I'm going to click on that link, open it. So I already have an account, but you're going to register as a new student, and it's real simple. You'll just fill out this information. Now, when you come up with your password, I have had this problem in the past. Students will save it to their computer, which is great. But when you take the exam, you are required to type your password in. So don't forget it. Make sure you might want to write it down or something, because I have had that problem in the past when a student, they go take the exam, but then they forgot their information. So make sure you know that information when you have to take your test. So you'll come in here, fill out all this information, then there's the course ID, and put in the course code. And then when you do that, sign up and you'll be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and log in so I can show you what it looks like. So I have a bunch of them because, like I said, I'm teaching 3 of them just this semester. And I've got past semesters here. So let's look at you all's. Let's see. Where did I put you? Yeah, let's see. Oh, right here. It's at the very bottom. Okay, because it hasn't become live yet. So here we go. So 13-14 online fall 2024 14-week late start course. So here we are. Here's our calendar. Okay, I had to update some dates real quick, but here's your unit 1. And so our class will start Monday the 9th, and then you can see, if you look at our calendar, 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 will be due Sunday at 11:59. Go to My Open Math right here. Here are those 3 assignments right here. They're all due at 11:59 on Sunday the 15th. Then the next 3 are due then, and so on. And if I go further into the calendar, then you'll see right there that Monday, that's when the exam is due and all that homework for the previous week is due. So if we look at week 3 right here, 1.7, 1.8, and the unit 1 exam review and the exam window is in that time frame right there. It's all going to be due right there. And then unit 2 will show up in a minute. I just haven't changed the dates yet. So that kind of gives you an idea of that. So you should be able to click on them in the calendar, or you can come down here and click on your assignments right here. Now, the assignments I have, here's the lessons and the notes for them. So right here we have the factoring review video and then the notes. So if you want to print out the notes to go along with it, you can. If you don't want to print out the notes, that's fine. I recommend you do, but that's going to be up to you. And then here I'll click on this video right here, or if you click on this plus sign, it will actually open the video right here. But if you want a bigger screen, you can click on it. Okay, so we're going to start college algebra by reviewing factoring because it's so important. Okay, so there you go. Here's our lesson. And then I'll click on this one here. And you can see the notes. So there are the notes, and then there's the video of it. So if you want to print them out, go for it. If you don't, that's fine too. But here are the videos. This one's kind of long. This one's 35 minutes. I try to make them under 20 minutes for the most part. Let's see about this next one. This one's 26. So I try my best. Like here, I broke it up into 2 videos. So if it's going to be really long, a lot of times I'll break them into 2 videos. So you've got your videos and then you've got your notes. Here I started posting the notes for 1.3 through 1.8. So if you wanted to print out them all out at the same time, you can do that. All right, so that's where you'll find the notes and the videos to go along with it. And then when you go to the homework, they should actually have some stuff in here to help you too. Not all of them, but a lot of them will have videos or notes to go with it. So let's see, click on a couple of these. Oh, here we go. So this one has a video. So, oh, I'm stuck. I don't quite remember. You can click on this video right here and it will open up a video for you. And so what My Open Math is it's like an open source sharing platform for instructors. And so teachers make these questions and so they'll post videos to go with them. This one has 2 videos here. So it's just kind of hit and miss. I tried to pick questions that have videos. It just kind of depends. It's probably, I'd say about half of them have videos. And so if you get stuck, you can just click on it. You can watch a short video on these. Most of these videos are 5 minutes or less that are embedded in the questions. Most of them are pretty short. And so you get 3 attempts, and if you get it wrong 3 times, then it's marked wrong, but you can try again, though. You can say, give me a new question. Or even if you do get it correct, so for example, let's see, this is x plus 3 and x plus 4 in no particular order. Anyways, that's the correct answer. And so if I want to, I can say, you know what, I need a little bit more practice, get similar problems. So you can just work it again. Or you can get it wrong and get it wrong again, and then get it wrong again, and then, oops, well, it's telling me my answer has not changed since my last one. So let's see, try a different one, and then we'll try again. Okay, so I got it wrong to the point where I can't try anymore. But I can redeem myself, get similar example, and I get to start fresh again. Okay, so that's my open math. It's great. It's free. Students, from all the feedback I get, they love it. I do have those OpenStax textbooks here. You can refer to them if you want. It's not absolutely necessary because I've already got the notes and videos embedded here. But if you want to flip through a textbook or whatever, I've got 2 of them posted here that you can look at. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's going to cover everything. The last thing we'll just look at is these quizzes. Let me get out of my instructor mode, or I mean my student mode. So when you come to take these quizzes, so for example, looking at this first one, I'll just kind of show you what it looks like. Let's see if I can do a preview. Oh, you know what? This is going to make me go through the lockdown browser. So I'm not actually going to be able to show this to you. Because if I do, it's going to make me launch the lockdown browser. And I'm not allowed to record when I'm using a lockdown browser. But here, what's going to happen is you'll download the softwares required for your quiz, kind of go through it, and you should be fine. So the orientation quiz is just going to be over basic policies of the syllabus and calendar. So you can have your syllabus available. You don't have to memorize it. Have it in front of you. Have the calendar in front of you. Okay. You're going to have it printed out though, because the lockdown browser is not going to allow you to go look at it. So hopefully you have a printer, or this will be the one time you can have your phone out. I don't really care on the orientation quiz. It's not that big of a deal. It's more about going through the process. Okay, this is to give you a chance on how to use this, so we'll have everything set up properly before the first exam. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for now. If I think of anything else, I'll let y'all know, but if you have any questions in the meantime, let me know. And so I look forward to working with you all, so don't hesitate to reach out and ask for help, and good luck with the semester.